So before we talk about landed versus condominium, I think it's good to understand the overall numbers for Singapore first. So overall numbers for Singapore, right? You'll be surprised, in 2012, there were 1.15 million people who own homes in Singapore. So make a guess, right? In 2022, what is the number? Actually, the number went up by 21%. That means now it's close to 1.4 million people who own properties. That means in 10 years, from 1.1 something became 1.4 million. That is an increase of 200,000 new homes that people bought and stayed in. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, with the population increasing and of course more people owning properties, 20% is a big number. And this 20%, of course, they buy HDB, they also buy private condominiums, and of course landed property. Landed property, supply is not increasing, it's kind of flat. The condominiums, of course, there is increase year on year, controlled by the government, and same as HDB. Over the post-COVID period, the government has increased the supply of HDB as well as private condominiums, but not landed private condominiums. But that increase is not, it's not a lot. It's enough to tie over a few years, and then the numbers will come back down again. Basically, government doesn't want to cause oversupply. They are just trying to catch up with supply. So that's the situation at the moment. I just wanted to give you a rough idea of the numbers. So a lot of people need homes, and they probably continue to need homes. And condominiums are not that many built every year, and usually 10,000 plus minus. Of course, 2023 we had more. 2024 we have a little bit more than the average, but 25, 26 come back down again. So it's kind of stable. Then we look at how many people are actually staying in HDB, private condo, and also landed. There the numbers will give us a better idea. So total HDB, right, out of the 1.4 million in end of 2022, right, 1.09 live in HDB. So more than a million live in HDB. So only balance only 300 plus. 300,000, 237,000 stay in private condominium, right? Out of the 1.4 million, 237 stay in private condominium. And landed, of course, there's 68,000 landed homes, and they pretty much always say the same. So in terms of numbers, private condominium and landed, 68,000 and 230 something thousand. That's the number we have. That when people upgrade from HDB to private, or private to landed, or HDB to landed, those are the numbers we play with. Landed, no increase in supply. There's a few here and there comes up when land is available, but otherwise it remains the same. Private condominium, of course, there is new private condominiums being built, but as the population that owns property also go up by 20%, you need to continue to build at a rate of 20% increase in new supply of private condominiums, which is I think is not happening. There's still a shortage. So that's why we start to see, okay, why the prices of landed and private condominiums from, so we look at non-landed condominiums first lah. So 20 years. So over the past 20 years, the per square feet prices have of course gone up. And how much? So when you look at all, so they've gone up by 280%. This is in 20 years. Non-landed condominiums, whole of Singapore, 280%. Now we look at landed. So this is terrace. Terrace also went up, same, 280%. So good investment. How about semi-D? Semi-D went up more, 307%. So that's semi-D. And then we look at detached. So detached went up almost 400% to 391%. So let's discuss why there's a difference. Because when you look at non-landed, 280%, terrace, 280%, semi-D, 307%, and detached, 391%. That will give us a rough idea of the forward movement of this type of property. So today we are talking about condominiums, which are non-landed, and landed property. You know, private condominiums went up 280% in the last 20 years. Then landed from 280% to 400%. So of course, if you buy terrace, pretty much you are mapping almost similar to private condominiums, right? 280%. If you buy semi-D, slightly better. And then if you buy detached home, which is a bungalow, of course the price goes up a lot more because no availability of landed property. So here my question is, I have some clients who come to me and their budget is maybe 3 million plus, 4 million plus, 5 million. They've never bought landed before. They also didn't think of buying landed. Then when they start to think about buying the next property, I always have the discussion about landed. Because at those quantums, right, 5 million and above, 4 million and above, at those quantums, of course you can get an older landed property and then rebuild, but total cost will still go up. I always have this discussion about landed property because if you are going to buy, let's say, a freehold condominium for $5 million versus a freehold landed for 5 million or plus minus, you need to start thinking about, am I making the right move, private condo or landed? So again, I just want to say that the less the supply, the higher chances of the value of the asset going up. Now, then we talk about private condo. Private condo went up by 280% over the past 20 years. So that means that's the average PSF. That means that there are private condominiums that did much better, maybe 400, 500%. There are also private condominiums that do less, maybe 100% or maybe even flat. I don't think flat, maybe a little bit more. So when it comes to buying a private condominium or a landed, a few things very important. When you're playing with that kind of quantum, please be very careful what you are buying. Location is always key. Location, amenities, transport, the size of the property, number of rooms, even where the condo sits in the condominium space, right? Low floor, high floor, where does it face? Look at the master plan and so on. So there's a lot of variables that will help you to increase the value of your asset over the next 20 years. Not everybody is going to grow 300%. Even landed property doesn't, not everybody is going to go 300%. So you need to be very careful about what you buy. So again, my conclusion here is you can choose to buy private condominium, you can choose to buy a landed. But more important, I think they will continue to go up because the population size keeps going up, number of households keep going up. As GDP increases and people make more money, they will want to upgrade and move forward. So I think price going up is not an issue. What you need to be really careful about is what you are buying. So get an agent. I'm happy to help you. What you are buying is really important, like location and so on. There are too many variables for me to discuss on this video, but get an expert to give you the right advice.